It's been a while since I did one of these. I was planning on starting to do videos soon this year again, but then last night I saw a movie that I had to talk about for all the not right reasons. This is why Maze Runner is the worst movie of last year. Now, when I say worst, that can also kind of be like not necessarily most disappointing, but the one that made me the angriest. The only other movie that I got angry at for a little bit this year was Transformers 4, mostly because I avoided some of the worst movies like Legends of Hercules and the new Sin City and all that. It just looked bad that I was like, I don't want to watch that. I enjoy kind of those like B action movies like Dracula Untold, the Hercules with The Rock and all those, so didn't get mad at all those. So the only one was Transformers 4, and that I kind of got over and accepted because the reason I got angry was that because it was just so boring, like 2 hours of boredom, and then the Dinobots came out, and I enjoyed the Dinobots. That kind of redeemed it. I know a lot of people hated on that, but I thought it was okay. The comedies were all decent enough. Nothing really made me angry quite like the movie that I saw last night, which was Maze Runner, which is why personally for me it is the worst movie of 2014. Yes, worse than Transformers. I know some of you still wrap your brain around that. That's why I'm still kind of emphasizing this. Yes, in my opinion, this was worse than Transformers. I'd like to compare this to one of my probably top 5 all-time shows, which was Lost. Now, Lost starts off with a bunch of mystery, makes you wonder what happened, and it just keeps adding. It just keeps building and building and building. The difference is, I know some people disagree with this, but in my opinion, it built towards something that actually happened. It built at the end of the first season to, hey, look, here's the hatch. At the end of the second season, hey, look, we just blew the hatch up. Or maybe that was the third season. The point is, every season built to something, and then the overall show, though not all the mysteries panned out, you don't need to explain everything, leave some mystery to the audience, that's cool. They did answer a lot of things, a lot more than people like to think, because they hate on the Lost finale, and I'm not a big fan of the Flash Sideways either, but the overall story of Lost had a conclusion, and it was good. That's the exact opposite here, because this movie, there's going to be spoilers in this. This movie, it makes you think that it's building towards something much like Lost or other shows with mysteries that build towards stuff, but it doesn't. It just keeps adding mystery, adding mystery, adding mystery, adding mystery. Then we get to the end, which I'm sure if you've heard other people talk about this before, it's basically like, hey, here's our plug for the next movie. This is all going to happen. Let's give you a bunch of exposition. The problem is that exposition they give you leads nothing to what is said during the first movie. Answers like none of those questions. Just raises a bunch more for the next one. There's a character that we're introduced to in the last couple minutes. She's in a couple like blurry flashbacks before, and then she kills herself. It's like, oh, and then there's supposed to be this big twist at the very end, like the very last scene is her saying, all right, let's begin phase 2, and then it's like, well, why would I care that you faked your death? I knew about you for 3 minutes. For 3 minutes I thought you were dead, now you're not dead? Okay, that's cool. I don't know what the hell is going on, but yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. But the more I thought about this movie, the more it just angered me. So, another big reason why it angered me is that it really seemed like it could have been good. The visuals and stuff were neat. The actual maze and the stuff closing, it was cool. The main character, I thought Thomas, actually a pretty good character. And then all the other kids were basically one note. That's okay for one of the teen dystopian novels, which I'm a fan of. I enjoyed Divergent. It wasn't the greatest. I really like Hunger Games. There's other series such as that I like, and I just hadn't read The Maze Runner. But I decided to see the movie, and yeah, the characters are just the same as every other book. It's turned into movie, but you know, I'm accepting of that. But just the way that they're there just doesn't make sense. They go up in this. They're getting sent from some lab. It's all supposed to be some make humans better thing, but there's just so many unanswered questions. Like, there's this one character, Albu, who's like the head gang dude of all these people, and he's like, man, we went through some dark times. Well, why don't you explain those dark times to me? Explain why it's so bad. They found out that the maze has no exit, but then they also say that, hey, yeah, these doors open and we can check through there. Well, then how can you say there's no exit to the maze if you haven't checked all the different passages, all these outer sections as they call them? Another annoying thing here is, again, towards the end. Most of my hatred comes from the end, because everything leading up to that looks like it's leading up to something, and it doesn't. At the very end, this character who's kind of the antagonist, besides like the little metal spider robot things, which I don't even want to get into. But this kid, he's like, hey, I don't want you guys going through the maze. But then the group of kids, led by Thomas and all his cohorts and stuff, they all get to the end and they are about to exit the maze, and this kid just walks up who didn't go through the maze and somehow was able to get through the maze by himself. Somehow he got a second key, and it's like, that's not explained it. Plus, one of the main things established in this, because, it's one of the few rules that we understood, is you get stung by, I can't remember what the things are called, but you get stung by those things, you go crazy and die. The one character didn't die because he got the antidote. This kid, not crazy. He's just plain sane. He is crazy because he wants them to stay in the maze, but he didn't really go crazy and not able to understand thing and angry. He just kind of was like, no, we can't leave the maze, and it's like, the one thing you establish, if you get stung by that, you're basically SOL. This kid stabbed by that seemed perfectly fine, very upset, because that's just how it is, but you broke, like, the one rule of canon that I had accepted, because nothing else makes sense. How did they come up with these rules? That's never explained. Why they're here? Yeah, if you want that explained, I reached out to some friends who hopefully would be able to provide me with some answers, because I was like, I had to miss something. It couldn't be this bad. I had a reason why my anger kept building, and most of them didn't understand what was going on, and the one told me, hey, the only way to understand this is to read the book. And if you're making a movie and I have to read the book to understand what's going on, you fucked up. You done fucked up. It didn't work. Not a fan of this movie. Just the whole ending in particular. I mean, they find out that these trials and shit were going on, and then a bunch of army people run and rescue them, but apparently that's all part of the test, but we never explain what's going on. There's like some disease out there, but then all these other people are surviving, so why are you testing the children if you guys are already surviving? And don't really know how the world became this desert thing. Don't explain how they built this maze or all the things. We have no context to the world around them, just the maze world, and the maze world was basically like the Lost Island, except the Lost Island made more sense. And that's saying something, because the Lost Island was freaking confusing. There was a polar bear on there for no reason. But it made more sense because the laws were actually stuck to, which weren't accepted in this movie. I am fresh from seeing this, but if I had to rate this commercial for, hey, we're making a sequel, because that's basically what this was. The whole point of this movie was, hey, we're making another one, which is annoying because other movies that leave with, hey, there's going to be another one, at least are bad. Even the second Pirates of the Caribbean, which I'm not the biggest fan of, the second and third one together, there's a lot of moments I like. I like the Pirates franchise, but the second one, ended, look, I'm Barbossa, we're going to go save Captain Jack, that's the next movie. And it's like, that was a more easy way of saying, hey, we're going to make a sequel and not tell you what's going to happen next until that movie, than this one, because the whole 90 minutes or however long it was, I don't even know, we're basically just setting up for a sequel, which I still don't understand what's going on because you gave me no context for the world. Overall, am I going to see the next one? Yeah, you guys want, I'm going to see next one because I need to know what the hell happened. I might even read the book, and then maybe I'll understand. Maybe I'll accept this movie. But do I want to watch this movie ever again? No. Would I recommend this to no one? No, because then you're going to have to watch the second one just like me, and I have a feeling I'm not going to get any answers there either, because I know there's a third one. If I'm ranking this movie, this isn't a review, but if I was, yeah, you get an F. The probably only F I've ever given. Even movie 43 or whatever, probably get a D-. I think I laughed once or twice. The only part of this I'm laughing at is, just the insanity it's caused me, because I shouldn't get angry at movies. I found something to like in Transformers 4. No one can do that. That movie is really bad, but it's, I think I gave it a C, but it's probably lower than that now I'm thinking about it. But there was stuff that I liked in that, but the difference is that was a bad movie. I knew it was a bad movie going in, and it gave me cool stuff to like. This was a movie that I heard was going to be okay, it really hooked me. I thought it was going to be good, and then you just screwed me over. You didn't give me anything to like at the end. You didn't explain anything, and that just is upsetting for a movie that could have been really good if you just would have explained something and then not give a bunch of exposition that didn't lead anywhere. If you give exposition in a movie, why don't you try explaining stuff instead of asking a bunch of questions? Just pointers, makers of this movie. Don't go watch this movie, and if you've already seen it and you can explain stuff to me, please, I beg you, let me know. I don't want to be angry at this movie. I am. I just am, though. So expect more videos in the future and whatnot. Hopefully I get my camera working at some point, and still need a memory card and all that. And I'm just babbling on now. Don't watch Maze Runner. That's all I gotta say, because it is the worst. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully I'll get them back on a consistent upload schedule, because I think it's been like, besides that cover, which I think I posted, maybe, I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was like a mid-October. Yeah, sorry about that. It was just computer software and all shit up and whatnot, and wanted new equipment. I need to stop blabbling on. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys later.